Day, we are seeing the tip-top surrogates for each and every one of these candidates, including Donald Trump's wife, Melania Trump. She spoke to an enthusiastic and packed crowd in a Philadelphia suburb right around this time yesterday. I want to play a little bit of her message, and then we'll play what we just heard from the other candidate's better half, former President Bill Clinton.
Our culture has gotten too mean and too rough. We have to find a better way to talk to each other, to disagree with each other, to respect each other.
Yesterday, I never felt so bad for anybody in my life as I did for his wife going out, giving a speech saying, oh, cyberbullying was a terrible thing. I thought, yeah, especially if it's done at 3 o'clock in the morning against a former Miss Universe by a guy running for president. I mean, none of this is real. You couldn't make it up. The problem is we're laughing, but it isn't funny because people's lives are going to be changed by this.
Let's begin there. Let me bring in Betsy McCaughey, former Lieutenant Governor of New York and a Donald Trump supporter. Also with us, Hillary Rosen, CNN political commentator and Hillary Clinton supporter. Ladies, so great to have both of you back on. And Lieutenant Governor, let me begin with you. You know, we listened to Melania in her entirety yesterday. Great speech. I mean, English isn't her first language, so I give her full credit for that. But that said, you know, when she was saying we're too mean and we're too rough in this society, and she would want to improve that if she's first lady, and given what we have seen of her own husband, does the former president have a point?
Well, not really, because the former president obviously can't defend his own wife. She's under investigation from the FBI. She's under investigation
we're talking
from the
about your
House
candidate right now.
That's
then
right.
I promise we'll take turns.
Well, the reason I'm responding is that Bill Clinton's obvious strategy is to divert the attention of the nation from the really serious issue, which is that his wife, a presidential candidate, is under investigation by the FBI, by the House of Representatives.
But again,
and in addition,
Donald Trump is what I was asking you about, and we're talking about his wife, who says, you know, the society's gotten too mean and too tough and too much bullying. I'm just asking you, does the former president have a point?
Yes, everyone in the nation would agree that civility is the right way to go. But unfortunately, voters on Tuesday have a choice. They can elect a candidate who is under investigation and has a chronic, lifelong problem with failing to obey the law. In fact, I'd like to call to your attention a report I have right here, just one moment, that Hillary Clinton is even in legal hot water with the authorities in Chappaqua, New York, where she lives, because she started renovations on her house without getting the right permits. In other words, the law is for the little people, and she won't obey the law.
That's staggering.
The problem with Hillary Clinton.
That's completely staggering.
Go ahead, Hillary.
Well, it's staggering coming from a Trump acolyte who Donald Trump has over 400 lawsuits against him right now for cheating in business, for not paying contractors.
That's not violating the law.
Well, yeah. Yes, it is.
Those are civil
Actually,
suits.
He could be found against the law. He has a rape status conference with a judge coming up, and the Trump University fraud trial coming up that's already been scheduled before a judge. So let's just stipulate that Donald Trump is no Boy Scout here. Secondly, let's go back to the original point, which is I do think that President Clinton is onto something when he says, look, it's very nice that Melania Trump is out there talking about what she might want to do as First Lady, but what we cannot forget is, you know, the New York Times did this analysis last week of the 282 times that Donald Trump insulted somebody online or in a speech since he declared for president. 282 separate occasions where he has been abusive along the way that Melania Trump said people shouldn't be. So I do think civility is in order. I think it was an odd choice for a speech for a potential First Lady. There were so many other things she could have talked about, but to sort of bring attention back again to Donald Trump's behavior by giving that speech, I think was just a strategic mistake.
Look, the
Okay,
fact is
let's
that
move on.
Hillary
Let's move on
Clinton-
from. So let's agree that we need civility, and we especially need it come
Absolutely.
Tuesday. Let me move on though to what Mike Huckabee, former Arkansas governor, Republican, big fan of Donald Trump's, endorsed Donald Trump. This is what he actually just tweeted earlier today. I just want to point it out to everyone. He tweeted, "Trump may be a car wreck, but at least his car is pointed in the right direction. Hillary Clinton is a drunk driver going the wrong way on the freeway." I don't know if I really like either of those metaphors, Lieutenant Governor. I mean, that those are our choices, and he's calling his own candidate a car wreck.
Yeah, I was there. I was at Fox this morning when he verbalized his feelings, and he actually said it a little differently. He said, he may have a fender bender here and there, but she is really driving the nation into a ditch. And that is very apt. Donald Trump has a very strong program to jumpstart the economy and to provide better jobs, more take-home pay for people all across this nation, whereas Hillary Clinton has put forward a plan that's virtually a recession plan. She's going to raise corporate taxes and drive more companies out of this country. She's going to impose layers more of environmental regulation that will shut down coal miners, people in the fracking industry, very important in Pennsylvania, and in the natural gas industry. She has a plan to reduce jobs and lower take-home pay. And that's what the Washington, D.C. Federal Reserve says, that raising corporate tax rates will result in lower wages and lower growth.
Shouldn't
This is
4
just
days
inaccurate.
before the election,
It's
4 days
just
before the
inaccurate.
election, you both are obviously partisan, and Lieutenant Governor, I would love to hear what you
But there
like
are
about
facts
your
here, Brooke.
candidate, maybe instead of what you don't like about Hillary Clinton. Hillary, you get the last word, then we gotta
I just
go.
told you what
Well, I
like
would just
about
say
it.
that everything that Betsy just said about Hillary Clinton's economic plan is not true. Indeed, she does have a plan for more tax fairness, but it goes to rich individuals. No one who makes less than $250,000 a year would see any tax increase. On corporate taxes, she has a number of proposals to create incentives for corporations for domestic manufacturing and wage equality, something that we all said that we need, and for investing in energy and green jobs that do matter to the U.S. And most importantly, a program for education, because we have open jobs in this country. We don't have qualified people to fill them. Getting folks education is critical.
That's all about more big government, but the fact is
No,
Hillary Clinton has
it's not.
crisscrossed this
And in
country
fact,
saying
the
she's
best
going to raise
candidate win
corporate
on
tax
Tuesday,
rates,
ladies.
and that
Betsy
will
and Hillary?
spoil our economy.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
May the
Brooke.
best candidate win. Coming up next, when politics and hip-hop collide.